Welcome and thank you for joining me today. As parents, one of our greatest desires is to have a strong, loving bond with our children, but building and maintaining that connection isn't always easy. Relationships are dynamic and they take intention, understanding, and effort from all sides. Today we'll explore 11 meaningful ways to enhance your relationship with your child, whether they're young, a teenager, or already an adult. These strategies can help create a deeper bond, foster open communication, and build a relationship that thrives over time. I'm Marie Morin. I'm a therapist and a wellness coach. Let's get started. Okay, number one, make time for them. In today's fast-paced world, time is our most valuable asset. It's a gift that you can give, whether it's a weekly dinner, a daily check-in, or a monthly outing. Consistent quality time shows your child that they are a priority. Even small moments like sharing a laugh or asking about their day can leave a lasting impact. Number two, practice active listening. Listening is beyond hearing words. It's truly about decoding and understanding what your child is saying and what they're not saying. Sometimes it's just about putting down our phone, making eye contact, and listening without interrupting. Show empathy by validating their feelings, even if we don't agree. And number three, respect their boundaries. So as children grow, they develop their own sense of identity and independence. Respecting their boundaries fosters trust and shows them that you value their autonomy and independence. This might mean giving them space to explore their interests or supporting their decisions without judgment. So I'm sure many of you who have taken the time to watch this are probably doing all these things anyway. But some of the subtle things that I remember that I struggled with was being in a rush and just barging into the room when they were younger and even as teenagers. And, it didn't really go well, especially as they got a little cranky as teens. But it became a real habit for me because I realized they didn't like it and I was just intruding. So I would just knock just to check. Sometimes if I know they are in a room, I will just say knock, knock. And I know you're probably thinking, well, that's a little silly, Marie, but it's worked for me to help keep a little bit of like a consistent rule with them that I'm respecting that they're in there and I don't want to just barge in on what they're doing. And number four, express love in their language. So we all feel love differently. Some of us thrive on words of affirmation, while others prefer quality time, physical affection, acts of service. So we want to pay attention to what these people in our lives, these little people, these young people really enjoy and the way that they love to get love. When we take the time to figure out like, oh, how does my child receive love? And we follow through and then give them that, it helps them to see that we're paying attention. I know one of my kids really loves to get gifts, and so I go a little bit over the top with her, making sure that I'm very precise. This is her love language. While another one of my children loves to be on the telephone and likes to talk and likes me to check in. So they all like something different, but it's such a rewarding feeling when you know that they get it, that they are really receiving the love that you're giving. And number five, foster open communication. So we want to create an environment where the person we're speaking to feels safe sharing their thoughts and feelings. And it's about like not criticizing or jumping to conclusions or solutions immediately. Instead, we can ask an open-ended question and encourage dialogue. And when they see you as a safe space, they'll be more likely to turn to you during challenging times. Or the reverse, as I hear with some adult children, is that they felt like they wanted to be able to tell their parents things, but a lot of times they were met with this type of like, oh my gosh, I have to help, I have to rescue. Instead of the adult child feeling like they were able to tell you so that they could handle their issue. It became about you wanting to rescue them. And this is a very, very difficult dynamic. And it's not really helpful for their growth. And guilty is charged. You know, I did that multiple times across the lifespan of my kids. Just wanting to come on in and rescue, and rescuing leads to enabling and all sorts of other things, and we'll deal with that in another video. And number 6, apologize when you're wrong. So of course we're not perfect and we're gonna make mistakes, and we've all made mistakes or said something hurtful, but when we do, it's important that we own it. Apologizing models accountability and teaches our kids that it's okay to admit when we're wrong, and it also strengthens your relationship because it shows them that we could be humble and that we care for them. And this is one key thing that I hear over and over again as I speak to adult children who have problems with their parents. What they tell me is that they wish their parents could just take accountability. For example, perhaps an adult child is upset about behaviors that parents had with each other during a messy divorce, and they just want one of the parents to take accountability for their behaviors and say, I'm sorry, I was wrong, I will commit to XYZ in the future. This is what kids talk about as accountability. We set that up when they're younger by doing the work of being able to apologize. And I know it's hard. We don't like to apologize. It's just something I think within the human spirit that doesn't want to say when they're wrong, but it really helps with our kids. And I'm certainly not lecturing. Guilty as charged. All of these things I could have done 1,000 times better. So I'm hoping through these videos that we can strengthen the fabric of relationships. And apologizing is one way that really, really bridges the gap. In fact, learning how to make amends is a skill we will do in another video because it's a really good skill to have. Number 7, celebrate their individuality. So, as you know, every child is unique with their own personality, talents, and dreams. Celebrate the differences that they have by showing interest in the things that they like, their hobbies, and supporting their passions. Let them know you appreciate them for who they are, not who you think they should be. And number 8, share your own experiences. So they love when we open up about our own struggles and the things that happened to us when we were younger. They love hearing these stories because they are life lessons and we become more relatable to them. It creates a sense of shared humanity and helps them see that we're a guide rather than just this authority figure that always has it right. Number 9, be consistent and reliable. So we know that trust is built when people can count on us. And when our kids can count on us, it gives them a sense of safety. So when we follow through with our promises, the things that we said, and we are emotionally available, we're being consistent. And this is key to having strong connection. Number 10, show empathy during conflicts. Okay, so it's normal. You're going to have disagreements. Things are going to happen. It's inevitable. But how we handle them makes all the differences. So it's a good idea to approach a conflict with empathy rather than being defensive. Try to understand their perspective and work together to find a solution. Remember, it's about solving the problem, right? You know this. You don't want to win the argument if you're going to create a rift between you and your child. You just want to get down to being able to relate and have a conversation where you're connecting, even if you're disagreeing about something. And this could be done if you just get yourself settled. And if you need to take a break, even Gottman suggests, look, take some time out and go back to it when you're feeling a little cooler. And our last tip is focus on growth, not perfection. So parent-child relationships aren't about being perfect. They're about growing together. Naturally, you listeners are not worried about perfection either, but sometimes it's our standard that could be, and it's good to have a lot of standards. This is a good thing. But sometimes it's the inflexibility in the standard that can make a little bit of resistance with our adult child, with our younger children as well. So we want to celebrate their progress, and that's just about like noticing even the small thing. So I see that you were able to complete your assignment in only 30 minutes. That's great. And it's about just noticing what is it that they've done, that they've progressed, and being like a cheerleader, okay? And all of these tips that I've told you, okay, yeah, it's hard to keep on top of them. We're all very busy. We have a lot of pressures. There's a lot of stressors. But if we could just kind of lean into these on a regular basis and just remembering, you know, part of my job as a parent is to help my child to progress and to launch, and to be a citizen of the world where they feel safe and loved and understood. We know that individuals who feel like they have cheerleaders really do this well. They just feel like they can hit the world running. By focusing on growth, we create this space for love and connection that flourishes over time, right? So strengthening your relationship with any child at any age is a journey. It's not a destination. It's about showing up with love, which I know you guys are doing, and respect, and a willingness to act as you both grow. Remember, even small efforts counts. If this resonated with you, I encourage you to just try something different that you haven't tried, and let me know in the comments what has worked for you, what you did with your kids if they are adults now, and share some tips. And thank you for watching, and here's to building a stronger, more meaningful connection with your kids. See you next time, and don't forget to subscribe.